In this video, we'll be taking a look at the new teased monsters and make some design predictions for them. We'll examine the silhouette and animation features and try to make the most probable design possible, all the while discussing various theories about where we could be seeing these monsters in the future. So sit back and enjoy your time here on the Cretaneum channel. Special thanks to Pechidna is Epic for providing us with today's MSM Draw. Submit a drawing prompt with the hashtag MSM Draw in this video for a chance for it to be drawn in the next one. Some of you may be wondering what I'm even talking about. New monsters? I haven't seen any teasers for new monsters. Well, that's because they're hidden rather sneakily all over the internet. My Singing Monsters is having other YouTubers reveal the shadows and sounds at the end of their videos. So far, the community has found 4 monsters, and we'll try our best to interpret what's going on design-wise. Our first monster is Percussion, and we can see a bit of its animation. If it seems out of sync to you, that's because its sound is not final. The YouTuber who showed this teaser simply played his interpretation of the sound on his drums. At any rate, we can see that this monster is a biped. That means it has 2 legs, and it has a long tail. Additionally, it has flower-like stalks, on the top of its head. These can quickly retract into its head to produce a thump sound. The stalks, which I assume support the eyes, appear to be segmented, drawing to mind a stalk of bamboo. That, paired with the petal-like protrusions around the eyes, and the leaf-like hairdo on the main body, suggests that we may be looking at a type of plant-like monster. The tip of the tail remains relatively static, but we can see that it does have some segments too. The tail could be bamboo, like the eye stalks. That is, hopefully those segments are intentional. Sometimes the sprites can overlap and produce some visual oddities, but the ones on this monster seem pronounced and meant to be noticed. It also has some spiky things on its thighs and belly. Finally, we return to the sound of the monster. The eyes make the kick drum noise, but where does the snare, the click, and the whistle come from? It would have to be the mouth, or whatever is contained within the main silhouette of the body. Given the fact that the snares are struck in a relatively quick interval, 2 small arms tucked to the belly are a good choice. That electronic click could be the mouth biting down, and the whistle could also be made by the mouth. To produce the snare sound, I think the monster would have some sort of belly plating to tap its limbs against. The final design turned out nicely, although I think it would most likely have a complementary color somewhere in its design rather than all light greens and yellows. Potential names include Slam Boom, like bamboo and how it makes sound, Stalk Eye, because it has eyes on bamboo stalks, and also Wak Choi, a reference to bok choy and also pak choy, the family where you can find that vegetable. Now we can take a crack at the next monster. This one's a little trickier because we don't have the animation revealed to us, only relying upon a confusing silhouette to guide us. It looks vaguely humanoid, with what appears to be 2 feet and a head. On its torso appears to be either clawed hands or wings, with something else on its hip. It could be another limb, perhaps attached to the chest. The head of the monster appears to be quite wibbly-wobbly. It could be a membrane of sorts, like the mane of a lion, but made out of skin. Or perhaps, given its pitch-shifting synth piano noise, it could be a rotating portal in place of a face. We can see from its shoulders that it's wearing some sort of garment, which is really unusual in the world of My Singing Monsters. It appears that it drapes over the back like a cape, partially obscuring the shape of the foot. I think something is lacking in the final design. I believe that it could look a lot better if it was posed in a more dynamic way. When it comes to creating a character, it can really help to shape its pose into something that reads well when it's darkened into a silhouette. For the drum monster, we can clearly see the eye stalks, torso, legs, and tail. For this monster, you can't really tell what's going on, and that translates to the final design being oddly positioned. Of course, I could be interpreting the silhouette incorrectly, but that just proves my point on creating an unreadable silhouette. Here's two of my characters as silhouettes as an example, which goes to show how posing can really help you understand what's going on, and even the type of personality the characters convey. I have no idea what to call this thing apart from Puddlefish, because I used a lot of aquatic and cephalopod features when designing this abomination. So let's put this monster behind us and focus on my favorite, the weird burpy Bazinga lookalike. This lanky creature is holding a crafted staff of some kind. It'll most likely do something with that stick to produce this suspiciously frog-like sound. I imagine that it will either flip it upside down repeatedly, or perhaps the staff works in a piston-like manner and slides up and down to make the noise. Its head is built like a grasshopper's, with two bulbous eyes on either side of its head. If we scrutinize its design, like I scrutinize a delicious platter of cheeses, we notice that the eyes are slightly transparent with a pupil hovering within, almost like the eyes of Bazinga. It has oddly fleshy protuberances on the top of its head and its rump, as well as some Zoidberg-esque mouth tentacles. Its feet are decidedly stumpy. Its stick appears to be very ornate, with some twisting forms and orbs on either end. I'm unsure how techy the design will be, but I'll incorporate some features that will allow it to produce sound. The final art is my favorite so far. The skin, which is similar to that of a poison dart frog's, is contrasted nicely by the darker tech parts of the instrument. Interestingly, this monster's silhouette bears quite a similar design to one of my original characters called the Cothelius. I'm a big fan of this monster's eyes and round little body. I've opted to name it the Croak stick, which is an apt summary of this monster's design and sound. Upon further reflection, I do believe the hand connects up where I put this pipe, because there's a segment missing in the croak stick's right arm. The final monster to cover today is this quadrupedal ferret-looking guy. We get a tease at its animation, but there's nothing really to note aside from the presence of jaws and a swishing tail. It appears that it has quite a long neck, which looks to be ridged like an accordion. Its voice also appears to be reminiscent of an automaton, so maybe it has a face similar to the one found on the instrument. It does have considerable squash and stretch on its neck, so I'll roll with the accordion idea. The end result looks pretty tame for a 2023 new monster design, but we're literally 2 hours away from the official reveal, so I'm gonna send it. The design is a lot more rodent-like than llama-esque, but I'm still presenting the name of Olamatone. It's got the classic blank-eyed automaton stare that I hope will be present on any monster that embodies that instrument. Additionally, if we do go down the accordion route, a possible name could be Squeakbox, a portmanteau of squeak and squeezebox, which is a term for any hand-operated bellows instrument like a concertina or an accordion. There we have it, 4 potential monster designs that I'm very excited to see the accuracy of. We don't have to wait long, so make sure to drop your opinions on my designs and thoughts of your own in the comments. I guess I'll see you in a couple hours in the MSM premiere, so you have been watching Creeptanium, and I will see you all later.